Tish James, Hochul, Al Sharpton, all these people that put Mandami on their platform, that gave him credibility. How did they not see this coming?
I mean, I think it's twofold. I think some of them want it to happen. You know, if we look at the Democratic Party and where their loyalties have been, it's been big pharma. It's been, let's give as much money as possible to, you know, the pharmaceutical companies, to the hospitals, to the doctors. They've pumped trillions of dollars into that. Those people fund their campaigns. That's why they talk about universal health care like it's God's gift to the world, when in truth it's just more money going to the top, more CEOs making tons of money, more stocks, you know, rate. You have 1,000% increase in stock prices for pharmaceutical companies ever since Obamacare came about. So they have been sold out for a long time. They put a good face, but they have been sold to the people who bought them for a very, very long time. You see the same thing happening with the influence of Soros in our politics. You see how he is funding most of these protests, the No Kings protests funded by the Walton family. You see what they want. And, you know, Bernie Sanders said it best about 10 years ago. When he was in a conversation talking about open borders. And he said the truth then. He doesn't say the truth now, but he said then, open borders is a Koch brothers scheme. You bring in cheap labor. They replace the youth labor. You bring in people who will work for pennies on the dollar, and they are going to take a lot of the jobs. And that is a billionaire's plan. Bernie knew it then. He knew it in 2015. He doesn't seem to know it now. But he also has 3 houses. He has 3 houses now. He has his jet he gets to fly to for his speeches, where he gets paid, you know, close to $500,000. He doesn't seem to recognize it now. He's on the final ends of his life, and I think he wants to live comfortably. And I think that's just what it is. I think for me, you know, I was always enamored by the Democratic Party because they seem like the people who are doing the right things and, you know, trying to do right by people. But those people are the people who pay their checks. Those people are the people where their stocks are invested. Those people are the pharmaceutical companies that want to make as much money as possible. Those people are the people like Soros, who wants to influence and globalize this world and get rid of all borders and not have an America anymore. And I think that's why they supported Mamdani. That's why they stood behind him, because he shares in that same ideal. And I don't think people realize it because he can put on a good smile and he seems like a good guy. You know, I'm right now speaking to a number of Nigerian pastors who are in Harlem right now, who are devastated that no one in our politics is talking about the genocide that's happening in Nigeria right now, the 500,000 Christians who've been killed over the past 10 years. And I see this also as a spiritual war. I think that you have the socialists who are taking Jesus and being like, he's ours, he's a socialist, he's a socialist. It's like nothing in the Gospels suggests anything like that. Like if you actually open up the Bible, you recognize that Jesus was not a socialist. You have lots of parables and lots of lessons of, the master who gives the slaves the silver, and the 10 silver, the 5 silver, the 1 silver. The guy with the 1 silver buries it in the ground. The other 2 invest it and bring back more for the master. And he takes the guy who buried it in the ground, who made no money for the master. He gives their money to the others because it's hard work. And socialism isn't about hard work. Socialism is about taking from others and taking from the hard work of others. That is what socialism is. And Jesus was never about that. And I think most of us are aware of that.
Well, I mean, sometimes, bro, I don't know anymore. Like really the response that I'm getting from certain things, certain subjects, I just don't know no more, because it's just like, like we should be old enough, especially the older gen. And the thing is, I'm seeing older people my age and older, and some of the comments that they're making, I'm like, what happened? Like how did this happen that we forgot, what our older leaders from before have taught us, and even the political leaders, right? Like literally we forgot what Adam Clayton Powell was talking about with Black Power and why Black Power was necessary. And it wasn't racist. It was just us empowering ourselves. It's like we forgot all that. You know,
Yeah.
when you see some of the comments, I don't know, like, I don't know. I really don't know.
Look, I think we created a system of dependency, and I
Yes.
think that they talk about it. If you give someone something sometimes, they're appreciative. If you give them something all the time and you take it away, they're gonna hate you for it, and they're gonna be very angry, even if it was free. Both sides of the equation, they're getting something for free, but you have to be selective. I think years and years and years of this government dependency and us having to rely on the government to take care of us. I think there's some elements of that that are very, very good, but I think it also created this idea of not working as hard or not trying as hard to get what you want in this country.
Right.
And I think that is something that not only not only Black Americans but also Latino Americans, Spanish Americans, like a lot of us lost sight of that. White Americans who kind of live off the system in that way, a lot of people have lost sight of that. And I'm extremely supportive of social programs. I believe that we need them and they need to be implemented. But just over the past couple of years, we've seen how much fraud is involved, how many billions of dollars are taken out of the system. And
Yeah.
again, you take that away, people are going to hate you for it. So we have to deal with these issues and we have to get back into a mindset of success. And I want to bring back that mindset of success and wealth. You're not angry about wealth. You want wealth. You want to accomplish it. You want to get those goals.
Right.
And that's a strong